Hello, my beloved ones. I'd like to talk with you today about meditation. Meditation is an act of self-love. It's an act of bravery to allow ourselves to connect the mind with our heart. And I say that is an act of bravery because sometimes, even without knowing, we are just so busy in our minds, so busy, so distracted with so many things from outside of us, with the intention unconsciously to keep us distracted, to keep in the outside. Because in the deep, if you really could go back from the outside and go for the inside, you would realize with our mind, that there are still some open wounds there in my heart that I don't want to see it, or I don't want to feel it, because the pain is the pain of death. The pain is like to be burning in hell. It's a pain that you will always avoid. You will always protect ourselves to do not feel the pain. And then it comes the truth, and I call these as flip chat, the game of life, because if we can understand that this is just an illusion, all of this doing, and keep our mind distracted, to do not access the heart because we still have open wounds there. That's exactly the illusion. Because who is in the command of our lives when we are seeing life so busy that we never have time for ourselves, and it can be so busy and so full of stress, and all the time always something happened that, oh my God, looks like it will be amazing, and then suddenly go back to what was normal, that it was the addiction to stress, and then comes that rush of the good hormones and dopamine and serotonin, and then we create things and situations that will cause confusion, fights, that we want to run away, that we lost the trust again. So we are dealing with all of these scenarios all the time without knowing what is going on. And some already knowing, that we would say people they are already awakened, that has more consciousness of the game of life. And some people there are still asleep in the dream that their lives is meant to be that suffering or chaos of suffering and pain and misery, poverty, scarcity, lack. Maybe you can have lots of money and you are amazing with that, but maybe you are lacking of love. Or lack of money. So this pain of lack is too much pain. And the lack of trust is the one that you really need to rescue again. Because in the moments that we have our first trauma, in the moments that we have that movie that is still there in the subconscious mind of our mind, in that archives, it calls human negative matrix. And we are here in this life to clean this and go back to the spiritual matrix that we truly are, the divine spiritual beings that each one of you are. And when we understand that this is the game of life, we are here just to flip chat, which means that we need to learn to flip from the dark side, from the pain, from the suffering, from the illusion, because that's what caused the separation, the trauma, that first trauma that you remember, and you feel the pain. I can also feel your pain when you remember that. And it's a feeling of discomfort, right? It's like a knife in the chest. We are still bleeding if we do not be strong and brave enough to go back to that past and to heal it and to feel it. Because while we don't do that, we can be in these adult bodies and we will just be literally like the zombies, because we are just living a life with the illusion of being just a body and a mind that is full of stress, confusion, suffering, and catastrophic scenarios all the time, making us to be busy, and again, what for? To do not access here, because the pain is here. The pain of a broken heart is here. Even that we have the memories there in our subconscious mind, the memories here in our heart. And at the same way that the memories of your traumas, of your pain, you also feel here. When you flip chat and you get out from the pain and go back to the unconditional love again, it's also here in your heart. And that's the invitation of meditation. Meditation is an act of self-love. Because when you are brave enough to get out of here and come together to here, creating this brain and heart coherence for you to start to see the truth again. It's when you flip chat, you get out of the dark side and you flip and you go back to the light side that represents the power of your soul, that represents your truth, that represents all the magic and miracles that you are. So meditation teach us not just this brain and heart coherence, but meditation teach us to feel again. Because when we are brave enough to heal that pain, and I can feel your pain because it's the same. I also have that pain. But today I can say I also had. And that's why I invite you to make this to be your past. To make the pain to be your past. But then for that, you need to learn. Or maybe better, you need to remember, because you already know. You need to remember what you already know. Because all of us are here in this game of life. And when we start flip-chatting and bang, winning the game of life, then we understand, oh my God, I'm out of the negative human matrix. I'm back, having my soul. Thanks God. Thanks God. And it's just amazing. It's like the myth of Plato. That it was like from thousands and thousands years ago, and it was still the same story. It's like being in the cave. And then this is representing the dark side to flip again to the light side. And it's when he get out of that prison, of that cave, and he goes back. He's back in his spirit. He's back to see the world again, to see the magic of life. But while we are stuck in suffering and in pain, it's so difficult to see the magic of life. And we are living constant in survival mode. And this is so painful. It burns. It burns in our heart. It burns like hell. And we avoid to feel that pain. Because again, it's a pain of death. It's to be burned alive. Like what happened with Jesus Christ, right? And then after that, it comes the resurrection. And why? If you really want to understand this analogy, this is so powerful. He allowed himself to feel all the pain, to feel all the rejection of the ones that he loved the most, to feel all the abandonment from the people that he loved the most, all the neglected, the betrayal of his trust, the separation, all that people that judged him, all that people that condemned him, that accused him, that said to the world that he was the curse. And everybody pointing the fingers to him. You are the curse, and you burn in hell. And like hell. Right? So this is the revenge. This is the revenge of our hurt child, because each one of us have this hurt child. And if you are still in suffering, and when I was still in suffering, I had the same pain as you, to be constantly in survival mode, having some acts of courage and bravery and going to a better energetic field, and then woof, going back down again for fights and fear, and it's such a low frequency, And then being shy, do not wanting truly to show our light to the world, to show our soul to the world, because when we were kids, that power that we had was never heard. The voice of our soul, our intuition, was never heard. And then now we are here now to have the chance to rescue this power again, to rescue. And while we keep living in suffering, we are just still living according with the negative projections of our hurt child in our subconscious mind. It's like that. It's like your hurt child. She is in the back of your movie theater. Okay, so she is the one who is there in the back, you know, when we see, and she is the one who is choosing the movie and then putting the movie in the machine. Okay, that's what your hurt child is doing. And And I tell that she is the director. She is the Steven Spielberg of your own movies, alright? But then as the movies of horror, the movies of drama, oh my goodness, the movies of, oh my, everything's catastrophic, everything is like, oh my god, you know, it's like fear and fear and fear and fear all the time, and you are all the time in this rush of adrenaline, survival mode, fear, wow, alert state, everybody, zombies, we are all dead, because we are living without the power of our souls. We are living without having a voice that is the voice of our soul. And that's what you're gonna experience once you learn how to flip chat, how to get out of the human negative matrix of pain and suffering, and going back to your spiritual matrix, to the power that you are, the source energy, the beauty, the magic of life, where everything we see and we are works in perfection. We don't need to make any effort to be breathing right now. Everything happens effortless. You don't need to say, "Ooh, come on, heart, keep breathing, because I need to be alive." No. Your heart is there. You know, pulsing life without you asking for life, because you are already life. It's just there, saying, wake up. Please allow me to beat. With the magic of life, with the ecstasy of life, with the pleasure of life, with the orgasm that life itself is. Each one of us, we are created with the explosion of true love, of the explosion of orgasm, of pleasure, of ecstasy. And that's what life is. It's an orgasm. That's how each one of us needs to be living in this planet. With this, what is like an orgasm is the flood of all the best chemicals in the world in that moment in our bodies, liberating dopamine, liberating, all that ecstasy is the best drug in the world. Is the best medicine in the world, and when it's made with true love, with our soulmates, it's an explosion of true love. It's an explosion of being connected with each other, not just through our mind, our hearts, and our bodies, but also with our spirit. That's what a real relationship is. Both are connected, first of all, in their soul. Because even if they get crazy here, in their distractions and confusions, because they still are with so much fear to access here, we will gonna have eyes of compassion to understand that that person is not blaming us. That person is seeing in us a projection that she or he still needs to go there and heal. So we have this consciousness that when we are with our spirits, that doesn't matter what's going on in the outside. If I'm feeling pain, I say, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my hurt child, that you are there in the back of my subconscious mind, taking the movies of my negative human matrix that I still need to heal. So she's using this situation or this purse, this circumstance, or this lack of something to say, hey, this is the pain that we need to heal. And then when I have a consciousness of that, so that's my flip chat, that's my formula. And I'm here to share this with you, because I'm here to awaken and enlighten, helping you all to awaken and enlighten in the speed of light. Because we are here to, from now on, to believe in the golden era, the era of prosperity for all, the era of abundance for all. Because we're gonna be remembering how to get out of survival mode, of the pain, of the human negative matrix, to go back to the power of our soul again. And nothing else will stop us in achieving that.